One struggle, one fight, Palestine trans rights! One struggle, one fight, Palestine trans rights! One struggle, one fight, Palestine trans rights! One struggle, one fight! Palestine trans rights!
Yes, a reminder of our top story this hour. The UK Supreme Court has ruled that the legal definition of a woman is based on biological sex.
You maniac!
Well, that's just great. So this is the devastating news that the UK Supreme Court has decided to spring on the unwitting British public just last week on Wednesday. In Holy Week, of all times, they decided to tell the trans community that they can no longer just willy-nilly wander into any bathroom or public shower that they feel like, okay? You have to go by the sex you were assigned at birth.
Oh dear.
On Spy Wednesday of all times, when Judas agreed to, betray Jesus, my God, why hast thou forsaken the trans?
God damn you all to hell!
Who's Daniel Boland? Oh, Daniel Boland, this is a heavy hitter. Do you guys know who this is?
Jesus wept. Looks like somebody could have done with a few more hugs before the age of 5 from Mummy and Daddy, you know. That would avoid this whole feigning a mental breakdown and filming it fiasco. But we're not just here to laugh at the nutters in today's video.
Unanimous decision of this court is that the terms woman and sex in the Equality Act 2010 refer to a biological woman and biological sex.
We were in a really difficult place in Scotland then. We thought we were going to see rights for women rolled back, and today the judges have said what we always believed to be the case, that women are protected by their biological sex, that sex is real, and that women can now feel safe that services and spaces designated for women are for women, and we are enormously grateful to the Supreme Court for this ruling.
Oh yeah, I'll bet you're grateful that the Supreme Court is dragging us back to the Stone Age. It's 2025, Karen. What are you so worried about? You know, just because a couple of trans guys are gonna maybe go and use your bathroom every once in a while. What's the big deal?
Where I do my business is none of your fucking business.
Where I do my business is none of your business.
Where I do my business is none of your business.
Where we do our business is none of your business.
Where we do our business is none of your fucking business.
Where I do my business is none of your business.
Our biological sex does not decide what toilets we use, our brain does. Let adults decide what toilets to f***ing go in. Where we do our business is none of your fucking business!
Well, I guess that was somewhat menacing. But, you know, as things were, as the fine ladies in that clip just pointed out, as things were before the Supreme Court's ruling, if I had been worried for the safety of my wife, say, or any of the other, you know, litany, frankly, of biological women that are in my life, if I'd have been worried for their safety on their trips, one of their many trips to a public bathroom, I could have just accompanied them, couldn't I?
Where I do my business is none of your business.
Where we do our business is none of your business.
No. Where we do our business is none of your fucking business.
Where I do my business is none of your business.
Our biological sex does not decide what toilets we use, our brain does. Let adults decide what toilets to fucking go in. Where we do our business is none of your fucking business!
Alfred Hitchcock's classic there, The Blokes. Anyway, look, the point was that if I had been worried in the past about any of the biological women in my life going to the bathroom and being, coming to any harm at the hands of those other women, then I guess I could have gone with them the way things were. And now I've just got to hope that they will, that there won't be some troll hiding under the bridge, you know? And if there is, that the many biological women in my life will have the wherewithal to be like the Billy Goat's gruff, you know, and trick the trans trolls. There's a bigger one coming. He's juicier, right? And it'll be me. And no, I won't. I won't do that.
We humans are capable of so much. We are capable of so many amazing things, but yet, it's 2023. We can fly helicopters on Mars, but yet the minute somebody says, hi, I'm trans, I'm non-binary, I'm just different, the world, it loses its mind.
What has the world come to, when we're all flying around in our helicopters on Mars, and yet when this fine young lady comes and says hello.
Hi, I'm trans. I'm non-binary.
All right, look, I don't know if that was a parody or a genuinely troubled individual. So at the risk of sounding even more ignorant than I already do, let's go to the most impartial, purest, unfiltered form of information that any UK citizen has access to. The BBC. They got an expert on to talk about the ramifications of this Supreme Court ruling. A trans expert. Let's just see what they had to say.
Today's decision comes after a long-running legal battle between the Scottish Government and a women's group. Let's get some reaction from Heather Herbert, a trans campaigner and former Labour candidate.
Okay, so Heather Herbert here. She looks like she knows the score, so I am ready for her to divulge all of her, for her to share all of her lived experience, insights into what this Supreme Court ruling will mean for people like her.
For the Scottish Parliament, Heather Herbert, thank you very much for joining us. What's your reaction to the ruling today?
Well, obviously I'm disappointed. No judge can tell me who I am. If a judge was to tell you that you're not a woman, that you're a man, you would, it wouldn't change who you are. It wouldn't change how you feel.
So,
and it feels just like we're following in the footsteps of Trump's America.
Why? Why do you say that? Because the judge was very quick to say that he understood how strongly people feel about this and pointed out that there are already provisions which do protect trans people from discrimination, victimisation and harassment.
There are, and those will mean that things won't really change very much. But it just feels very much like we're following Trump's America in that we're attacking minorities. At the moment, it's trans people, but it's been ethnic minorities, disabled people.
How is that the same? What I don't understand, maybe it's a little bit late at night, but I don't think this is in any way related to disabled people or ethnic minorities. I don't think people are outraged at seeing like a black person in the bathroom, or I don't know, that there are disabled toilets. Nobody's worried about the ramps and shit, okay? And frankly, it must be quite patronising for the people who do need disabled access and stuff to be lumped in with all of this crazy LGBT stuff, right? Because it is just not the same, okay? That is probably my worst fear, not only to be disabled, but people are attributing causes to me when I can't say anything because I'm there locked in a coma or something, and they're like tying their trans flags to my handles. I'm like, no.
But sorry, how is this an attack on anyone? It's just a clarification, surely, of what the word woman means in the Equality Act. And it cannot be mutually exclusive, can it? That protection is offered to women in sex-based spaces and trans people in appropriately safe spaces for them.
Well, I am a woman, so where do I fit in?
But according to this, are you a biological woman is what the law is asking.
Yes, exactly. So are you a woman? If a judge was to turn around and say to you, you're not a woman, would that feel very much like you were under attack?
All right, so this expert they've invited on to the BBC clearly is the sort of person who needs help putting their socks on. I don't think this person knows what they're talking about. This is the thing. Whenever anyone talks about expanding voting rights, I hear this a lot in America, like they want to get rid of voter registration laws and stuff like that, and having to present ID when you go to vote. They want more people voting. Have you met people? Christ. Look, if I had my way, when you go to a polling station to vote, I would give people like shapes to put in boxes or stuff. Just like a basic, you know, the kind of problems that a crow can solve, or a magpie. If they can beat the magpie crow test, then they're allowed to vote. All right? There is no way I am looking to get rid of anything that might impede people from voting, is what I'm saying. All right?
Need a clarification on. We need clarification. I mean, it won't necessarily affect my day-to-day life, but it just feels like it is another attack on trans people.
There may have to be, though, don't you agree, a reversal in policy by local authorities, perhaps, who have not protected single-sex spaces based on biological sex until now?
I don't think so. I would hope not.
Why would you think not, when this ruling makes it clear that sex is binary and that sex is immutable?
Well, the judge was very clear that it doesn't affect toilets or changing rooms.
That's not how the group for Women Scotland are seeing it. They're saying that sex is real. Women can now feel safe that services and spaces designated for women are for women. And we're grateful to the court for this ruling. And the ruling is that woman means biological sex, the sex that you were observed to have at birth.
So are you saying that I can't participate in public life?
No.
Friends, record us all shouting this love. You're going to repeat after me, okay? Trans women are women! Trans women are women! Trans men are men! Trans men are men! Non-binary is valid! Non-binary is valid!
That's my favourite part of the chant. Non-binary is a thing. It's valid. It definitely is.
Trans people are loved!
Trans people are loved!
Womanhood does not exist without trans women. I'll say that again. Womanhood does not exist without trans women. Without trans women, womanhood is not a choice. Gender becomes a fucking prison. Okay? A cage constructed of oppressive binaries, designed by white supremacy and built by the patriarchy and facilitated by cis white women.
Sounds like the coolest fucking cage ever. Alright, okay, look, I'm done with today's video. I can't be arsed with this anymore. It's a stupid topic, and, you know, what's the point? You're all going to be in the comments echoing my thoughts, and thank you for that. It really helps with the algorithm, so echo away, I guess, if you've enjoyed the video. At any point, you know, there were good bits, there were weaker bits, but if at any point you thought this is okay, give the video a like, because it helps everything, really. It just makes the universe a better place, helps the algorithm know that you've had a lovely time, and what else? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Follow me on all my social media under this video, and X, Instagram, all those places. If you want to help out with the channel even further and get some access to some exclusive videos, my Patreon link is under this video too. And what else? Nothing else. I'll leave you with the outro video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Nature played a trick on me. Nature stuck a big old dick on me.
Well, I actually hope that when I'm dead, somebody stuffs me and puts me in a living room.